I'm going to do something a little bit novel tonight, and that is be a Transformers YouTube reviewer that actually does a review. It seems to be a lot of people are doing TFM videos and just unboxings and those type of things, and I have been doing that as well, in fairness, but it feels like ages since I've actually reviewed a toy. Spoke about a lot of events and spoke about a lot of toys I've received, but not actually done a review of a toy. So I thought I would do that tonight. Now, what happened the other day is I ordered this thing. When was it? I think it was Wednesday night, at about 1:30 in the morning when I couldn't sleep. As you know, I've got into MovieBots lately, and this has been a MovieBot I have been stupidly interested in since I saw Junk Heap Dave's video on it. Human Alliance toys are almost the masterpieces of the movie line, and I think this guy, he's cost me £40, just under £40, and to me, he looks like an absolute masterpiece. He is 10th anniversary movie MB-07 Soundwave. I've been looking for this guy, as I say, for a good 2-3 months since Dave did that video. It's been out of stock everywhere, and it said on not TF Direct, on In Demand Toys, that it was probably going to be an August-September release for him. And randomly, on the other night, I went on there and I just noticed he was in stock, and I thought, happy days, I've got to order him. So I did, and he arrived today. I haven't actually opened him yet, because what I wanted to do with this review is open him up and try and record my first impressions of it. So should we start off with the box? Some fantastic artwork of Soundwave there on the front. Purple detailing is behind the car with the suicide doors open. Transformers down the side and Takara Tomy. You know what? It's a bit daft, but I didn't even click this was Takara Tomy. Which explains why the paintwork looks so fantastic on this. You've got Transformers, movie the best. Some great English there. You've got Transformers on the side. You've got some of the characters, and I'm guessing these are the other characters you can get. Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Shockwave, and Grimlock. You've got some... Right, I can't understand on the bottom. And you've got the product shot on the back of Soundwave. Now, unfortunately, what I have been told is that Laserbeak doesn't come with him when he did come with the original version. Kind of happy to sacrifice that, to be honest with you. I have got the wonderful Laserbeak that Junk Heap Dave sent me. So I will be displaying those two together. And yes, Dave, I know they don't scale, but you know what? I think they'll look cool together on the shelf. Let's get this bad boy open. Okay, let's put the box down there. We have some instructions. I don't know if there is a collector's card in here. Shall we have a look? I will need the instructions because I haven't got a Scooby how to transform this thing. No collector's cards. Just a very, very in-depth instruction manual how to transform this dude. That'll be fun. So here is Soundwave as he is straight out of the box. The door is displayed open, so let's shut that down. Tabs in quite nicely. Paintwork is, I think you can see it there, how sparkly it is. What wonderful paintwork. I don't think I've ever seen a finish this good, silver-wise, on a Transformer. Unfortunately, on my one, it has got some scrapings there. It has got a few marks on the front, which is a bit disappointing. Maybe I'll be able to touch that up with a little bit of silver paint just to take the edge off it, but I think you can say that's a bit of a disappointment for a figure that costs £40 odd. Yeah. I'm not having much luck lately with figures that I order online. The red alert I got for my birthday has been returned to Takara Toys because his arm had snapped off, his hand had snapped off, and now Shockwave has got Soundwave, sorry, he's got a couple of paint dips on there, which is really disappointing. He does roll. as rolling things should, as MGO would say. Both doors will open, and there is room for a driver. I'm not sure if the original one did come with a human person with it, but you don't get one in this set. But there is plenty of room in there to put a human character. You at the bottom, you can see everything folds away quite nicely. Still a couple of size comparisons here. So here he is next to the Last Night Drift, both Mercedes cars. You can see there's a distinct size difference with the two. And here he is next to MB-09, is it? Rodimus, the Hasbro version. You can say Rodimus is a lot bigger than him. So here he is in robot mode. Now, what I have noticed during transformation is there are a fair few paint scuffs and imperfections in the plastic. A little bit of plastic swirling as well. For example, don't know if you can quite see it, but in this piece of plastic here, there's a lot of swirling. There's a lot of scratches. When you get in close, a lot of little dinks and paintwork. I'm pretty disappointed in that. It looks so fantastic in the box. And it's another one of these things where we pay premium price for premium stuff. I mean, this was 40 quid. So that's like, it's not quite masterpiece price. But it's still £40. And I'm just disappointed that continually I'm disappointed with the toys I buy. It's getting a bit sad now, to be honest with you. It's starting to really get to me a little bit. Is that must be at least 50% of the toys I buy or have bought for me have problems with them. Steelbane that I had for my birthday, I had to take him completely apart and put nail polish on all of his ball joints in order to get the thing to bleed and stand up. That was a figure that Hasbro were charging, what, £25 for? It's unacceptable. To me, £40 for a figure should not have bleeding paint chips all over it, especially right in the middle where you're going to be looking at the bloody thing. It annoys the hell out of me, to be honest with you. I'm just so disappointed. This thing, £40. The red alert I had for my birthday, hand was broken in the box. Come on, sort yourselves out. I mean, I'm sorry for ranting here. I'm not a ranty person, but this annoys me. Now, the toy itself is pretty cool. I'm really happy with how it looks. It does have the stature of a masterpiece figure. It's just the finishing touches of it that really, really let us down as fans. And there's no wonder why people are buying knockoffs of these toys, because they might as well pay half the price for something that's a better quality with better paint. It's frustrating. It's frustrating for all of us, because this is a passion and a hobby we all love. So, let's start with the actual figure itself now. After that little rant, I do apologise. Head can do about that much, and that's it due to all the other parts around it. It does have a mouth opening action, which I can't... Get a bit closer. I can't decide whether I like that or not. It's because the line's really visible all around the side of the head. I'm a bit unsure about that one, to be honest with you. Arm movements, pretty restricted. You don't get a lot of movement out of it. You can move these parts out of the way and get a bit better movement, but then you lose the Soundwave look. You do get an elbow bend that goes to around there. There is a swivel on there as well. You just get two fingers and a thumb. These can move and are slightly articulated. And you obviously get the same on the other side as well. Legs, you get hip movements that far forward and that far back. You do get a knee bend. You do get a slight rotation on the hips. And you have got posability on the toes there. What do I think of him? Let's put the QC issues aside. He's a good-looking Transformer. I've actually just because the instructions were impossible to follow. I was just watching Imgo's video on the original version of it, and there is a lot of paint apps on that which would have worked better for this figure. A little bit of gold down here around this circle, breaking up the black. These, I think, are silver on there. Again, another little accent of colour would be nice. And actually, in a way, even though it's not movie accurate, I prefer the other head. But he is a cool looking figure. He is... Well, he's going to be my movie Soundwave. I really want to have a scene with him in, with Bumblebee and Barricade in the background. You know that scene when they about to kill Bumblebee and Q's just been killed, or Wheeljack, or whatever they call him in the movieverse timeline. So what I've done, as you can see, I've tidied up that a little bit, put a tiny bit of silver paint on there, so it looks more... To the naked eye now, it looks more there's a blemish in the paint rather than a big black chip on there. And I can live with that. I can absolutely live with that now. Very disappointing. I might sound like a broken record here, but very disappointed with that. Shall we do a few size comparisons on this guy? So here he is next to Masterpiece Hot Rod. As you say, the MP's a little bit bigger than him. Here he is next to 2007 Voyager Blackout. And here he is next to Masterpiece G1 Soundwave. So, final thoughts on this guy. Is he a movie accurate representation of the character? Absolutely yes, he is. Does he scale well with other movieverse figures? Yes, he does. Very well indeed, yeah. Would I recommend buying him? For the right price, yes. If I'd taken him out of the box, transformed him, and didn't have that chip on the front, and hadn't just had Red Alert, had his handbrake, as I mentioned, or Steel Bane, had be a floppy mess, then I probably would have looked past it, and I probably would be talking now about how fantastic this figure is. Essentially, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 now, simply because of, again, QC issues with it, quality control on the paint. It hates me to say this as a Transformers fan, but with current reputations, third party and KOs are superior. Takara and Hasbro, inferior.